Hey Celestia, it's Kiran here, residential property solicitor. I have more than 20 years experience helping my clients with all their residential property matters. From remortgages, transfer of equities, sales, purchases, you name it, I'm your girl. 10 years ago, when I went to Smithfield Partners to help them set up a property department, my children were quite young. So I had to get au pairs to help me with the school pickup, and I still managed to do the drop-offs because they were very kind to me. But it was tough. It was tough being a mother and, wanting to be there for your children, but also, we want to progress our careers. So trying to juggle all of those things was tough. I'm not going to pretend it wasn't, but I did have people who helped me. And during the pandemic, both of my children were home. I was homeschooling both of them. They had their little desk set up next to me, next to my big desk. And it was at that time that I decided to start my own business. I learned through my experience that there was no way that I was going to let any responsibilities change. I was still going to be a mother, still going to be a lawyer, but more importantly, I realized that the person that was holding the reins was me. I was also important. And what did that mean? That meant that before I would show up for my clients and my children, I learned to show up for myself. So during my life, unfortunately, I've experienced a lot of things that were not my fault. But the thing that was my responsibility to deal with was my own healing. And so from 2023, I went on an extensive healing journey. So I had therapy, I learned about nervous system regulation, I started running again, I took up yoga and Pilates, I learned about breath work, and all of these things have helped shape the woman that you see today. People were very skeptical about me starting my own business. They thought I was very well looked after at the firm I was working for. I was onto a good thing, but I really wanted to take that step to become an entrepreneur. So I decided not to listen to those critics, and I started my own thing. So during the pandemic, I was very, very lucky because the property market went through the roof. So while some people were baking banana bread and I was running my business, the clients were coming in thick and fast. I was working extremely long hours, sometimes 100 to 120 hours a week. No weekends off, no nights off. Now the thing about working like that is you can't do it for too long. So yes, I managed to help all my clients during the stamp duty holiday. At the peak of the stamp duty holiday, I helped 113 people complete on their sales and purchases in 1 month. But after that, what happened was I was exhausted. Now, a lot of people might not know this, but a lot of people, a lot of solicitors in the profession, they left. They had heart attacks, they burnt out, they had nervous breakdowns. Now, in 2023, due to my personal circumstances changing and deciding to leave my marriage, a relationship I had been in for 19 years, I hit a wall. Slowly, I realized that was not gonna work. I was gonna have to change. When burnout got me, I realized that I was not able to be the leader that I wanted to be anymore, and I needed to find another way. And that's what took me on my healing journey, to look at the core reasons of why I was working the way that I was working, with so much hyper focus on outward performance, not resting, showing up for everyone, but not myself. Something had to change. I still wanted to be there for my family and my clients, but I realized the best leaders lead themselves first, and that's what I decided to do. One fundamental part of being a solicitor is that your clients will come to you often very stressed, and it's my job to take the stress away from them. So it's not going to be helpful if I'm also stressed. So that's why I show up for my clients by being resilient making sure that I am the calm presence for them so that I can take their stress away from them and we can get the property transaction done in the best way possible. One of the hardest things for a law graduate is to get a training contract. And it was so hard for me too. I actually worked for 6 months with no pay. My first job was with a firm which I won't mention, but they signed a training contract for me quite quickly and I was absolutely over the moon. I worked like a dog for about 6 months until I found out that the training contract was not even registered at the Law Society. And I was being paid the minimum wage, which at the time I think was about £12,000, and a lot of travel was involved. I was heartbroken. So what happened then, which was even more tragic, was I carried on working. They said they were going to register the training contract. I believed them because my heart was on the line here. I'd worked so hard, so many years at university studying to be a solicitor, and I really wanted this. So I carried on working, and on a day when I wasn't in the office, because I was a bit poorly that day, somebody else made a huge mistake and their training contract was about to finish. And what that person did was, whilst I wasn't there, they blamed everything on me. And I wasn't even involved in that case, and I wasn't even there to be able to speak up for myself. And I got a call to say, don't come into work, you have been sacked. So I had worked for about 9 months. Some of that was not even paid, and I had nothing to show for it at the end because my training contract hadn't been registered and somebody else blamed me for a mistake that they made. And then when I was in my early 20s, I wasn't very good at standing up for myself and I didn't do anything. However, I had learned a lot on that job. So my dad is a financial advisor and I wanted to get property law experience. So he had started referring cases to me. So I started learning more practically on the job, not just by book learning, but actually on the job, dealing with conveyancing transactions. So when I was let go in that very cruel way, I probably cried for a couple of days, but then I got straight back out there. And I got a job at quite a big law firm, Taylor Walton Solicitors in Luton, in their property department. So within a month I was working there, and that started me on my journey to becoming a residential property solicitor. So what my clients value the most about instructing me is a clear communication. Communication is so key to all relationships, professional and private and personal. So my clients know that they do not have to wonder where I am. They have my direct number. They can contact me by phone and email directly. And through my experience, I have found that the best thing that a property solicitor can do for their clients and their referrers is be available, emotionally available, and also practically. So when I got to that month in the pandemic, at the end of the stamp duty holiday, and I had done 113 completions, the only thing I felt was happiness that I had helped so many of my clients save lots of money. But other than that, I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel much joy. I wasn't really bothered about the money, which was a really big surprise to me. And what I realized was that the joy that you can feel and satisfaction or giving back is something which is so amazing. So I am from a Sikh background, and one of the fundamental principles of our religion is seva, giving back. And I have found a lot of joy in helping the local community, doing charity work, helping my friends, working in partnership. That is where the real joy is. And you know what? You will be surprised. Those little things that you do for others, they will come back to you in other ways. So the advice I would give any woman who wanted to succeed in business and in life would be realize that you are enough and that you are important. And before you can lead anyone else, you have to learn to lead yourself. When you know who you are and you know what you want, you can go after any goal. And the other thing is, you can decide to start again or change direction at any time in your life. If you're here, you always have time. So, we have conducted this interview on one of the hottest days of the year so far, and let me tell you, it is not easy being the one who's been asked the questions and is in front of the camera. I'm the one used to answering the questions on paper but or by email, so being in front of the camera is not easy, and it has been so hot with professional makeup, with a suit on, lights and everything. It's not easy. But the team have been great, and I'm so glad that I did say that I would do it.